The pressure is on.
Ooh.
He offers stolen German cryptographic secrets in exchange for cash. His offer is accepted.
Wow! Epic History TV released a video that I didn't even know about. So this is what we're gonna react to. This is a World War II video. They usually never do
the deadliest
World War II,
war in
actually.
history, Britain and the Allies stand against the Axis powers. Nazi Germany has unleashed a new kind of warfare, swift, dynamic, and merciless. It's coordinated by radio communication, sent in sophisticated codes which the German High Command believed to be unbreakable.
Ha! Epic History TV.
But far from the front lines, in a quiet corner of England, a secret operation is underway. Thanks to brilliant minds, cutting-edge technology,
Rest in peace to that guy.
persistence, the communications of the Axis powers are being revealed, generating intelligence that could win the war for the Allies. These secrets are protected by the highest security classification,
Yo.
Ultra.
Yo. Okay, this series is gonna be lit. This series is gonna be lit. I see what you're doing, Epic History TV. You are doing something that needs to be talked about, that I've been longing for more people to talk about. This is why I love Epic History TV.
(1939). Europe is on the brink of war. Since seizing power, Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party have dismantled Germany's democratic institutions and rapidly expanded its armed forces in preparation for a war of conquest.
Epic History TV, how did you not get demonetized for this? No way,
Radio
bro.
will be the backbone of military communication in the coming conflict. And in wartime, every message must be carefully encrypted using secret codes. If you can break your enemy's wartime codes, you can see the composition and condition of their forces and gain early warning of impending attacks. Throughout the 1930s, British codebreakers have been studying German encryption methods with limited success. But they are about to be granted a breakthrough.
XYZ.
Somewhere in the Pere Forest outside Warsaw, a secret meeting is taking place between the intelligence services of France, Britain, and Poland. Referring to themselves as X, Y, and Z, the three nations have been working to break German codes. Among the British party is Dilly Knox, a brilliant and eccentric academic who's one of Britain's foremost cryptanalysts. His scholarly research had focused on reconstructing complex Greek poetry from tiny fragments of ancient papyrus. Like his counterparts in the French and Polish intelligence services, Knox's focus is the cipher machine used by the German military.
My man went from freaking deciphering ancient languages to this shit. What the heck, bruh? What the heck, my nigga?
Small and portable, yet generates codes that might be unbreakable. It's called Enigma. In the field, its operation is straightforward. A message is typed on the keyboard, and with each key press, the operator notes down the letter illuminated on the lamp panel above. These letters are transmitted by radio in Morse code, and at the receiving end they're typed into an Enigma machine with precisely the same settings. The illuminated letters on the lamp panel will reveal the original message. But which
I did not understand that shit, but okay.
letter lights up to each keystroke is determined by a tangle of electrical connections within 3 rotors that shift with every key press. Each rotor's internal wiring is unique and they can be rearranged to create new electrical pathways.
Oh shit, so it's random.
Final layer of security.
So it's random. Okay, I get it now.
The plug board at the front of the machine swaps letters in pairs. It has 150 million possible configurations. Although Dilly Knox understands how Enigma works in principle, he needs to know how the machine is wired internally. He's hoping for answers from the Poles. Poland is facing the imminent threat of German invasion, and they are willing to share knowledge in exchange for support from France and Britain. What they reveal at this meeting will finally unlock the secrets of Enigma. The story of the Polish breakthrough begins in 1931.
Oh wow.
A German named Hans Thilo Schmidt walks into the French embassy in Berlin. Well, he offers stolen German cryptographic secrets in exchange for cash. His offer is accepted.
Wow!
The documents he provides, codebooks, and detailed operating instructions for Enigma. The French and British intelligence services aren't convinced it's enough to break the Enigma code. But the Poles are far more concerned about a possible future conflict with Germany. They accept the documents and hand them to three brilliant mathematicians: Henryk Zygalski, Jerzy Rożycki, and Marian Rejewski. Rejewski achieves the most remarkable breakthrough. Astonishingly, with only the incomplete information from Hans Thilo Schmidt, he reduces the Enigma's operation to a series of mathematical equations and reconstructs the machine's internal wiring. With
What?
Rejewski's
Bro, what is his IQ? Bro, oh hell no. Bro. That's right. Some people are just gifted by God, bro. My goodness.
breakthrough, Poland is able to break Enigma messages as early as 1933. And by 1938, they are breaking 75% of intercepted Enigma communications.
What?
But
I didn't know this shit. I actually did hear somewhere that Enigma was already broken way before World War II by the Poles. But I always thought that was just like Polish propaganda, like gaslighting themselves, bro. That's insane. That is mad, bro.
their success comes to a sudden halt. As German rearmament gathers pace, its military tightens Enigma procedures and introduces 2 new rotors. These rotors can be swapped with the existing 3 in 60 possible combinations. This massive increase in complexity means Poland can no longer read Enigma traffic.
Damn! Okay, so what I did here was right, but yeah, Germany modified. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking about saying, wasn't Germany like modifying their Enigma anyways? Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, so what I was thinking was, yeah, I was thinking right originally because I was thinking, yeah, Poland. I heard Poland broke through it, but I was like, didn't Germany modify it, and because of that, it made it redundant. And it had to be broken later on again. Yeah, okay, let's
now, with a German attack seemingly imminent, they decide to share their Enigma research. An astonished Dilly Knox gratefully accepts the information provided by the Poles. Britain is now armed with the intelligence it needs to begin the fight against Enigma, and preparations have already begun. Something strange is happening in the small English town of Bletchley, just north of London. At the old manor house on the outskirts of town,
Bro, Epic History TV, you got some inaccurate borders, but you got the correct flag for Germany. Displaying it boldly too, bro. It's like they were probably like, oh man, screw the borders. Just put the flag. That's all that matters. As long as you can put the damn flag.
Workers are pouring concrete, installing new telephone cables,
bro.
and power lines. Meanwhile, a collection of eccentric academics is starting to arrive. The purpose of their visit is a state secret. They are code breakers from the Government Code and Cipher School, or GC&CS, and they are tasked with breaking the secret codes of Britain's wartime enemies. With war seemingly imminent, Captain William Ridley, Chief Administrative Officer of the Foreign Intelligence Service, has organised an evacuation of Britain's codebreakers to the manor house at Bletchley. The site is out of the way of potential German bombing raids, but well connected by telephone and rail. The operation will become known as Captain Ridley's Shooting Party. The manor house will serve as a wartime home for GC&CS. But the head of the organisation, Commander Alistair Denniston, has another problem to solve. Denniston is in charge because of his code-breaking work in World War I. His modest, calm demeanour works well to keep his sometimes eccentric staff in line. At this time, GC&CS has around 150 staff working in a relaxed and academic atmosphere. The staff affectionately nickname it the Golf Club and Cheese Society. But if war breaks out, they will receive mountains of intercepted communications and will have to turn code-breaking into an industrial operation. Denniston begins a search for what he calls men of the professor type, and he doesn't have to look far from Bletchley Park. Oxford is to the west, and Cambridge to the east. The university is a fertile ground for recruitment. Amongst his early recruits are two mathematicians. Gordon Welshman, a brilliant codebreaker whose ideas will revolutionise methods at Bletchley Park, and Alan Turing, a genius whose work at Bletchley will lead to huge advancements in the fledgling field of computer science.
This guy. The tragic story behind this guy, bro.
GC&CS now has a base of operations and a list of potential staff ready for the outbreak of war. But in 1938, the further appeasement of Hitler by the Munich Agreement removes the imminent threat of conflict. The men and women of Captain Ridley's Shooting Party go back to their regular London offices. They would return to Bletchley 1 year later. Britain is at war. The nation mobilizes. Young men are called up for military service. Older men and women take jobs in factories. Those outside the cities prepare to take in evacuee children. Meanwhile, GC&CS makes its official move to Bletchley Park. The flood of intercepted German messages begins to arrive. The pressure is on.
Ooh.
Intercepting enemy communications is the job of outposts called Y stations, dotted around the British Isles and colonies. Here, radio operators scan the airwaves for the staccato pulses of German military traffic. It's delicate work. Signals can drift across the spectrum, be distorted by weather, or be buried under other radio signals using the same frequency. From the Y stations, messages are sent to Bletchley for analysis. But there's more than one Enigma code to break. The German Army, Navy and Air Force use a variety of separate networks, each using different settings for their Enigma machines. Each network must be broken individually.
Jesus!
Color codes. Army traffic is green, red and brown for the Air Force. Eventually there'll be so many networks that the codebreakers run out of colors and start to use the names of animals, insects and plants.
Golly, man!
In its early days, Bletchley Park is chronically understaffed and overcrowded. Codebreakers work 24 hours a day in shifts. The operation quickly outgrows the manor house, and much of the work is moved to hastily assembled outbuildings in the grounds. The huts, as they are known, are very basic, with hard concrete and wood floors, bare light bulbs, and windows that are blacked out at night. At first, code breaking is done by hand, with pencils and squared paper.
Nah, bruh. I could never.
Exhausting work that requires sustained mental effort.
I could never.
As much patience and concentration as brain power. The first methods to break Enigma are inherited from Polish codebreakers who had discovered a critical security flaw in the German military's procedures.
Oh, what is that?
Each day, Enigma operators are given instructions on which rotors to use and in what order. Each rotor's inner wiring is also offset with an external ring. This is known as the ring setting. Then they follow instructions on how to wire the plug board. Finally, the operator chooses a starting position for the rotors, which must be unique for each message. This is known as the message setting. This message setting must be sent to the recipient so they can decode the incoming message, but without broadcasting it to enemy eavesdroppers. To do this, the operator encrypts the message setting using the Enigma machine itself. They set the rotors to a starting position known as the ground setting. Next, they key in their unique 3-letter message setting. Finally, they set their rotors to the message setting and type the message. But to guard against radio interference, German protocol dictates that the message setting be typed in twice. This is the critical security flaw the Poles have identified. It means Allied codebreakers can get 2 sets of 3 letters that they know must have been identical before encoding. The repetition of an identical group of letters gives them a way in to the Enigma code.
That's mad. That's wow. How the hell did no one on the German side not thought, hey guys, maybe this is a flaw? Once again, Germany shoots itself in the foot. Goes back to what I said before. The Allies didn't win World War II. Germany lost themselves World War II. I mean, so many mistakes that the Germans did that it's like, you have to say they lost the war. Not the Allies won. Like, the Germans lost themselves the war, bro.
January 1940, Bletchley breaks Enigma for the first time, cracking the daily settings for the Air Force and Army Enigma. British codebreakers are reading military orders and reports in almost real time. It's an astonishing intelligence coup, and the Germans have no idea it's happened. But just 4 months later, the Germans unexpectedly tighten security and change their procedures. Overnight, many techniques inherited from Polish codebreakers become useless. Bletchley Park is blind once more, just as Hitler prepares to launch a devastating new offensive.
Barbarossa. Or is that Yugoslavia? Oh, wait. No. We're saying 1940. Yeah, cause yeah. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. We're still in the 40s. Yeah.
As fighting rages in France, one of Bletchley Park's newest recruits provides a breakthrough. 21-year-old mathematician John Herivelle had only just joined the operation when he had a flash of inspiration. Perhaps the way into Enigma isn't through any cryptographic weakness, but through human error. Herivelle put himself in the mind of an Enigma operator, starting a shift at dawn and being ordered to rush off an important message. After setting up their machine, an operator who was tired, stressed, or just lazy might not randomize the rotor positions before sending their message. This meant that the starting rotor position might be the same or close to the ring setting. Herivelle's insight gives the codebreakers a way back into Enigma. On the 22nd of May...
So basically, he just used intuition. He just kind of... I don't want to say that's common sense, but it's like kind of on that point. Because the average person wouldn't like think of that, but you could say like, yo, that's how people are, right? I mean, people make mistakes. That's bound to happen. That's why nothing can't be perfect, because mistakes are bound to happen. So for someone to just think, hey guys, let's just wait until a nigga do a mistake, you know, or like do something within human nature to mess this up. I don't want to say that's ingenious, but I don't want to say that's common sense either. I already know the word that would best describe that. Like, that's clever, I guess. I don't know, man.
They use Herivelle's techniques to break the Luftwaffe's Enigma traffic, codenamed Red. This network stays broken for most of the conflict.
Wow.
But no code-breaking success can compensate for the fact that the Allies are clearly losing the war. Britain faces its darkest hour of the war. On the 16th of July 1940, Hitler issues Directive Number 16, calling for the development of invasion plans for the British Isles. But
oh my gosh. So I said this before. I said that I'm gonna do a why Operation Sea Lion was possible video. Guys, I have not forgotten. My script is still there. I have a lot more to write in that script. And then I have to go and read the script, make sure that it's properly clear and crisp. Then I have to go like put like video clips and whatnot. But what you're gonna hear from that script, and the reason why I haven't like rushed the Sea Lion video is because, again, I just want to make sure I just have a proper audience watching me. Because when I do this, right, like, guys, I'm gonna put so much effort into this, like so much explanation, because Sea Lion is one of those scenarios that everybody loves to talk about, but everybody says, oh, it's impossible. And, you know, for a while I thought that, but the more I looked into this and the more I looked into like World War II and whatnot, I realized there could have been a chance that Sea Lion could have actually pulled off. And the thing is if it's not 0%, there's still a good chance. Okay, if it's not 0%, the chance is still there, even if it's low. So many times, I mean, for goodness sakes, look at the Chinese Civil War. Nobody would think that the communists would win, and they won. So it wasn't 0% chance. It was low as shit, but again, they still pulled it off. So that's how I look at it. I don't want to review the details of what I put, because I realize that nobody else hasn't really pointed this out. and this is on why sea lion was possible. I'm leaving that for the script and the video itself, because I've had some people like try to comment like rudimentary things or just cliche things like paratroopers or what else? I think someone said like, oh, seizing the French fleet, which is not even like in oh my goodness, no. Like, it's like the way how I wrote this script is I'm keeping everything realistic as possible. Like, I'm not changing anybody's personality. I'm not changing the dictator of Germany's personality. No, guys, and that's the best part about this is it's pretty damn realistic, and nobody hasn't even noticed this. So I'm like, when the time comes, the video is gonna eventually drop. Okay, but yeah, man, I just want to make sure I have enough of an audience, because I really am limited in type of content that I do, because I'm just trying to build up my audience so that I can like eventually pivot and diverge. However, you have seen me like post a video yesterday that was quite different, and I do plan on making more videos are a little bit different than these reactions, you know, a bit more kind of sort of, oh, what the hell, original style videos, still related to my channel niche, of course, you know, just not like reactions all the time, you know.
Before that can happen, Germany will have to knock out Britain's air defences. That summer, the German Luftwaffe battles the Royal Air Force in the skies over southern England. The RAF has several advantages, not least that thanks to Bletchley Park Hut 6, the British are reading the Luftwaffe's Enigma traffic. The RAF gets advance notice of German flight paths and targets, allowing it to ambush enemy bombers, and giving those on the ground some warning of an incoming raid. It also allows the British to jam and disrupt German navigational signals for their bombers, sending them off course. The Luftwaffe is defeated.
Yeah, okay, and this is this right here is actually the trickiest part of my script, actually. It's not even the Royal Navy that was quite difficult for my sea lion scenario, actually, for my script. Actually, the way how the Royal Navy would be beaten is actually quite simple, really and truly. You'd be quite surprised. This is actually the tricky part here. I'm still trying to figure out a realistic scenario of how the German Air Force would be able to overcome the fact that Britain won the intelligence aspect of the Battle of Britain. And yeah, that is kind of the deciding factor of why Britain would win the Battle of Britain, kind of. Probably the main component that really kind of just makes everything icky. This part right here. I'm still thinking about that though, because the thing with the Battle of Britain was that the British really tricked the Germans so good is, and that's the thing, the Germans were tricked so well. And I'm going to talk more about that in my script, but the Germans were tricked so damn well that it's like you can't really. I find it hard to rewrite a scenario where the Germans were not tricked by British intelligence, right? However, thinking about it now, I think I may have thought of a way of bypassing that, even if the British won the air campaign and the intelligence campaign against the German Air Force, of course. But like I said, you will see. But yeah, this part, I think this part here is way more difficult than dealing with the actual Royal Navy itself. And like what Epic History TV said, the army and navy, their shit isn't decrypted either. So yeah, like I said, it would be quite not as hard as people think.
But though the threat of invasion has passed, Britain's position remains perilous. Hitler dominates the continent. The USA refuses to be dragged into the conflict. The Soviets have made their own pact with Germany. And the British face another crisis. At sea, German U-boats prey on ships carrying vital supplies to Britain. The Battle of the Atlantic has the potential to be the decisive conflict of the war. Breaking German naval codes will become a top priority for Bletchley Park, in a race to save the convoys and save Britain. In World War II, intercepting messages and cracking encryption was a painstaking process.
What the heck? That's the end of the video? 5 minutes. That's about Epic History TV. 5 minutes is a whole sponsor. What the heck, Epic History TV? Anyways, man, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, make sure that you like and you subscribe. If you like my reactions to what I have to say, go check out my other World War II reactions. I have plenty of those on my channel at this point. If you have any reactions like this that you would love to see my reaction on, comment it in the comments below. If you're an active viewer of mine and you have suggestions and whatnot, you know, you can comment your suggestions. But if you want your suggestions to be done faster, I recommend you to become a channel member, guys. It is only 99 cents a month. This is why I say active members. My viewers are not disappointed by it. I'm telling you, it's absolutely worth it, guys. I'm telling you. Go check out my channel membership video. Link is going to be in the comments. Okay, the perks that you get. Your videos are done almost instantly. Member suite, where I only post member suggestions only, man. Your comments are replied to with much more priority. You get a lot of good updates that nobody else that's a regular viewer would know about me. You get earlier access to uploads, meaning that whenever I'm done with a video, I'm done editing, like a video for the next day or the day afterward, I'll just upload it and it'll be scheduled, but it'll already be released. And I actually did that today. Okay, like I did that today with, well, yeah, I did that today. Okay, so you get early access with my videos, man. A bunch more benefits, and the more members we get, the more I expand the perks. And of course, the members only Discord server, man. I'm telling you, man, it is absolutely worth it. And it's only 99 cents a month. I purposely made it cheap. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.